vlog. I am out walking Maggie and it is the most beautiful snowy morning, so I thought this was a good time. Maggie is here. She's covered in snow. Aren't you? It is Monday. It's Monday the 5th of January, which is maybe the worst Monday of the year because everyone's back at work after Christmas and New Year's. But at least it's snowy and pretty outside this morning. And yeah, I thought I'd do a reading vlog this week. I wanted to start it this morning, but thought I'd just get out before work, and I probably now won't read anything until after work today. But I thought I would show you how beautiful the day is. I hope you've all had a good Christmas and a good New Year's, whatever you were up to, and I hope January is treating you well so far. It is now lunchtime and we're going to take Maggie on another walk because it's just so nice outside and we so rarely get snow that we want to go see what the woods looks like. So no reading yet, and I've still not said what this reading vlog is going to be, but we're going to take Maggie for another walk, and then after work I will show you what I'm going to read this week. So yeah, come with us. She's very excited. I just came downstairs to make a cup of tea and I thought I'd quickly go through where I'm at with my reading at the moment. So I've started a book that I've got from the library that is actually for my book club. One of my goals this year is to attend a book club, and me and my sister are going to go to one in a local village at the end of the month. And the book that they have picked is that focus? Brooklyn by Colm Toibin. I wasn't 100% sure on this because it seems a bit historical fiction. It's set in Ireland, and it's following a young Irish girl who emigrates to New York, and I guess how she goes on that journey. I'm listening to an audiobook and it's read by Saoirse Ronan, which is actually making it very, a bit more enjoyable. But I've literally listened to 30 minutes this morning when I was walking Maggie. And then the other book I'm reading at the moment is, so I just finished Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang and loved it. I mean, it was absolutely so dark and twisted, and really just the last sort of, I'd say 30% just I sped through because I just wanted to know what was going on. It was really weird, but I did really enjoy it. And then I've picked another book on my Kindle called The Lady Upstairs by Jessie Elland. I don't really know much about this. I'm only on chapter 2. So I'm at the start of both of those. But what I wanted to do for this reading vlog was read 3 books by Hiroko Oyamada. These are the 3 books. So we have The Hole, The Factory, and Weasels in the Attic. Now, I've read Weasels in the Attic a long time ago. Well, a couple of years ago. I haven't read the other 2, and I got them for my birthday last year. And I've just been wanting to sit down and read all 3 together because I think, although they're not linked in any way, I think they have similar themes, and a lot of people read them as sort of I guess, companion pieces, and they're all very thin. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and read those 3 this week and vlog it for you, along with the other books I'm reading. But these are going to be my main, like, I guess, reviews. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll take you with me, and hopefully we'll see how these are. Just need to show you before I switch off. This is Maggie's favourite spot in the house. This is her armchair where she spends all her time where possible. She can look out the window and see who's coming and going and keep an eye. Oh, you're so cute. I have never sat in that armchair. We've lived here for 3 years. We've had the armchair for just about 3 years. I've never sat in it because it is Maggie's chair. Good morning. It is 6:30 in the morning. I didn't sleep well last night. Well, I barely slept at all last night. I've got really bad tooth pain. But I'm still off to London today. I think I'm just going to make it a slightly shorter day than it normally is. And yeah, I'm just waiting for my train. I didn't actually read any more. Well, I read more of The Ladies Upstairs yesterday. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, or really what's going on. Can't really work out when it is, or where it is, or what's going on. So it's a bit weird so far. But I am gonna keep reading that on my Kindle, and then I've brought The Factory with me to start on the train. And that's the plan. So come to London with me, I guess.
On the right-hand side, change.
I made it home. I read absolutely nothing on the train home. I literally headphones on, doom scrolling for the whole hour and 20 minutes because I just had no brain power left, and I still don't. I've been home for about an hour and I'm just lying here watching the Superstore and just, I'm not even on my phone. I'm just so brain dead. I've been like a zombie all day. But if you ever have days like this and you don't read anything, that's fine. Sometimes that is the way it works. Actually, that is a lie. I read like 10 pages of my book on the train into work this morning. So I started The Factory. I don't think I'm in enough at all to say anything about it, but it seems like a bit like there's weird vibes for sure. Yeah, so that's about where I'm at. But it's been a very long day. I am so tired. I don't know if I even said this morning, but I had really bad tooth pain last night, and I had a tooth taken out earlier. Oh, not earlier this year, last year. And I thought my tooth problems were gone, but they aren't. So I'm going back to the dentist in the morning, but it meant that I slept no time last night. And it was just a really long day. And I'm just really tired. But I did it. I made it home. I'm so brave, I know. You don't have to clap. You stop clapping, stop calling me a hero. I'm just the bravest in the world. And yeah, I might read some tonight if I have a slight resurgence of energy, but as it stands, I probably won't. But I'm at home the rest of the week, so tomorrow's a new day. I also have my friend with me, my best friend. She stood like this because she wants to go out for a walk. Oh, bye. No. Good morning. It is Wednesday, and you'll be pleased to know I actually slept like a log last night. I took some pretty heavy duty painkillers before bed and then I just was out like a light. So I'm feeling a little bit better this morning. I have my dentist appointment today, so hopefully we get to the bottom of the tooth pain and I can go back to feeling normal again. Out in the beautiful woods with Maggie, you can see the moon over there somewhere, and yeah, hopefully today is a bit more positive. And I'm sure I'll talk to you later. I actually really do want, like, I have the like reading want again. Like yesterday I didn't want to do anything except lie there and feel sorry for myself, but today I am back in the zone.
Ended up being like the key person to helping the wife get out of that relationship and escaping, and then he ended up going back and also helping Millie escape, and I guess ended up together. They dated for 6 months, went on this essentially like vigilante justice.
I have finished work for the day, and I'm now gonna make myself a cup of tea and I'm gonna crack on with the factory. I'm really excited to read this. Maggie is fast asleep. So I'm about 40 pages in. Like I said before, this is following 3 different employees at this factory, and each chapter is like swapping between each perspective. And I haven't quite worked out how they link yet, but they're all employed at this factory that's like this massive sort of self-contained sprawling town basically. So there's apartment complexes, supermarkets, a bowling alley, karaoke, fishing centre, a hotel, more restaurants than you can count, a post office, a bank, a travel agency, bookstores, an optometrist, a barber, electronics store, a gas station, museum, like all of that within this factory. But I'm still not sure what the factory is making or doing. The employee that's shredding paper as her job has been told that she can't tell anyone what her job is, or take any of the paper off or the information from the paper outside of the factory, because people might want to access the information that's on it, which I thought was a little bit suspicious. And then there's a guy whose job is to proofread documents, and he said something like, do I need to sign it in case I make a mistake so they know who made this, like who made these proofreading edits? And the other one was like, no, they're like, we don't even know why we're doing this or what we're doing this for, who it goes to. It just goes away and sometimes it comes back with more mistakes. Which is just, yeah, there's just weird vibes. So I'm not sure what is going on, really. So I got to page 62, and then my husband got home from work and we just took Maggie out for a walk in the dark. And now we're making tomato soup and cheese toasties because it's cold and that is the perfect food in cold weather. So I'll probably watch TV and do some cross stitch, I think, with him tonight. But then I might read a bit more in bed before we go to sleep.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Right. Oh, and we can also hand out colored wigs. Oh yeah, smart.
Hello, it is Thursday It's actually just lunchtime. I didn't film anything this morning because I went for a run and it was freezing cold, so icy, and yeah, I managed it though. And yeah, I've just been working this morning. I'm gonna have some lunch now. I was actually thinking I might do a bit of a clean and tidy for half an hour and then spend the other half an hour eating and reading. So that is my plan for my lunch hour. And I'm ready to get the fire on later and get cozy in the lounge. So I just finished The Factory. What a strange book. I feel like it's the sort of thing I could really deep dive into and like try and understand all the different metaphors and different like meanings behind everything. But generally I think I really liked it. It was really weird, but yeah, I think I really liked it. I'm gonna like let it percolate a bit and maybe talk a bit more about it tomorrow. And I might start the whole tonight when I get into bed. So I think, yeah, I'll see how I feel about that in the morning, see how, once it's all settled, because it was a really weird ending and I'm still not really sure what was going on, but in a good way, I think. I mean, I love books like that. I love books that make you like really like think about what's happening and why, and doesn't just hand it to you. So yeah, I did enjoy it, I think. It's really throwing it down. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but that is the perfect weather for curling up in bed and reading. So I'm going to do that and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. It's Friday, finally. I am just up having a little cup of tea and journaling, which has been something I've started in the past few months, and it had a huge impact on my mental health, so I'm really enjoying that. And then yeah, we'll start the day. It's absolutely horrible outside. The rain is crazy, so I'm not sure when I'll take Maggie out today. She might have to wait for a little pause in the rain. I will go out in almost any weather, but when it's absolutely throwing it down in rain, I don't think either of us really enjoy it. So we'll see how that develops. But otherwise, today is just a quiet day. I've got no work calls, so it should be a nice one, nice and chill. While I'm here, why don't I tell you my thoughts on The Factory? So I finished this last night. It's a very short book, and like I kind of said last night, it's very weird. It's very much got like a creepy atmosphere that you're not really sure what's going on. So it follows three characters who have taken various jobs at this factory, but this factory is like an absolute, the size of like a city almost. It's absolutely huge. So it pays them really well. It hires a lot of people, a lot of people in the region, but no one really knows what it does or what it makes. But the factory starts to become this like, you think it's meant to be this prestigious place where they finally got a job, but slowly there's lots of weird stuff happening, like these animals and birds that only occur there but are like quite strange. It's just very surreal. And then the ending, like the characters start to morph together. You're not sure who's saying what, and you don't know how long, like time has become a bit meaningless, which I think is like, again, purposeful, because you're like, when you work in a place like this where it's just the same monotonous thing day after day after day, time does become a bit meaningless. I think it was quite bleak, and if you've ever worked in a factory, it's probably quite would probably quite resonate with you. But I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really interesting. And yeah, I'm gonna do my journaling now, and I will see you in a little bit. So it's now the evening. I've been reading The Whole since I finished work. Fire's on. I'm feeling cozy, and yeah, I'm on page 29. This seems really different to the factory. It's following a woman whose husband has been offered a job in a different town or different area, and so she quits her job to move with him. They move next door to his parents, and they have, I guess, like a second house or like an annex type thing that they normally rent out, but they said they can stay there for free. So she doesn't really need to get a new job straight away, and she's sort of a bit lost. Like, she doesn't really know what to do with her days. She's like, I thought I'd get bored after a week, but it happens in one day. I don't really know what to do. She's quite far from everything. Like, it's a bit of a trek even to the nearest shop, but to get into town is like a bus and then a train, and she's feeling a bit like, yeah, just a bit lost. And that's sort of where I've got to. But there's definitely some weird stuff going on. Like, the husband's mother is very strange. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think I'll probably finish this tonight, if I'm honest. And then I've just got Weasels in the Attic to read before or over the weekend. So I'm feeling good. I'll get back to you once I've read a bit more of this. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. I am just getting ready for parkrun. I think it's gonna be really cold today. We are going to a new parkrun, so we have a couple near us, but we are going to one that's about 45 minutes away. I don't really know why. I think one of our friends wants to get the letter M for the parkrun alphabet, which, if you don't know, there is a challenge to go to a parkrun starting with every letter of the alphabet. So that is the plan this morning. If you've never ran parkrun, it's one of the best things I started doing last year. I absolutely love it. It's proper sense of community. It's nice to get a little cake afterwards. And low-key, we walked some of them last year. I have my sister and a few of my friends joined us, and they preferred walking them, which was lovely because you just walk for an hour and yap, and then you get to have a cake afterwards, and you feel literally better than every other person in the world because you got up early on a Saturday and did 5k. Like, it is the best feeling. So if you have been thinking about doing parkrun, if there's one near you, I would recommend, because I love it. But on a cold morning like this, maybe it's a bit harder. But yeah, we're gonna head off in a minute. And I finished The Whole last night. I don't know what I feel. I feel a lot of things. I enjoyed the reading experience of this one more. It was a lot easier to read than The Factory. Like, it was just one narrative the whole way through. And I loved all the, like, unsettling creepiness. Like, I was really invested to see what was happening and why all this weird stuff was happening. But it doesn't really, I don't know, maybe I didn't understand it quite as much as The Factory. So maybe I need to read some other people's analysis and see what other people thought, because I wasn't sure. I've really enjoyed reading it, but I want to know what it all meant, kind of thing. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So now I just need to read Weasels in the Attic, which I'm going to try and do today, so that I've read all 3 this week, and then I'll give you a little roundup tomorrow. But yeah, our day is quite a busy one actually. We've got parkrun, and then we're going to come back here and walk Maggie, and then it's Ben's sister's birthday, so we're going to go see her. We're going to go see some other family, and then I think that might be it, but just classic Saturday activities. But yes, I've got to go. I've just heard Ben's back, and I think we're leaving in 1 minute. Bad news, we arrived and parkrun was cancelled because of ice, but because we'd gone all the way, we ran it anyway. There was no chance we were going to make it to another parkrun in time, and a lot of them seemed to be cancelled because of the weather anyway. But we ran it. It was actually pretty beautiful. I took some clips, so I'll put them in here. Yeah, we're on our way home. Because the thing's on my face.
It's like trying to stay on you.
Against me. But it's a beautiful day, and yeah, vibes are good now we've done a run. Oh my god, it's so cold. I don't remember it being this cold when I was running this morning. But I'm just walking Maggie before we head out this afternoon, and it is freezing! Oh, Max is chasing a crow. Oh my god. Yes. I was going to listen to my audiobook, but it's so cold that I need something funny. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm listening to a podcast instead, because I just need something that will take my mind off the coldness. So I haven't read anything yet today. But that's okay. It is, to be fair, it is a beautiful day. It's just freaking freezing. So it is now very late. I did read the first story. So this is 3 stories. I did read the first one, but then I spent all night needlepointing, which I showed you. So haven't read the rest, but I have time tomorrow to finish it. Slash I might read a bit now, but it is nearly midnight, so, and that is past my bedtime for sure. So I will update you tomorrow and give you my final reviews of these 3 books, as well as show you my little needlepoint goose if you'd like to see. Morning! It is Saturday. I've had such a chill morning. Oh my god, my hair looks so bedraggled. And we're just going to take Maggie for a walk because it's meant to rain later, so we want to get out before the weather changes. But I have loads planned today, but all fun stuff. I want to do like some editing, I want to do some filming for the week, and I want to do some needlepoint. I did actually finish Weasels in the Attic last night, so I'll tell you what I think later, and I'll do a proper rundown of all 3 because it's been a great experience reading all 3. I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, come on a little grey winter walk with us. It's not a beautiful day. So I'm back from my walk and I'm going to do some stuff for my needlepoint shop. So my first job for the day is to cut some canvas. I've got a few different sizes of things I paint. So I have my little geese, which are this square size, and then I have slightly more rectangular ones. So I'm going to cut a few different shapes of those, and then I'm going to do some painting. And I've got a few new designs that I've designed on my iPad, so I'm going to try painting some new bits too, depending on how much I do today. So I've now cut the canvases. I'm now going to iron the canvases because at the moment they look like this. They're not very flat because they've been folded up. So I'm going to iron them and then I'm going to edge them. So I like to stitch a cotton bias around the edge so they look like this, because that stops the edges from fraying. And even there is tape you can do to do this, but I think this just adds a little bit more of a like nice finish, and it means that if you want to keep them in your stash for a while, if you don't think you want to stitch them right away, which we all know is the case, oh ignore this spot on my chin, then they should stay secure and in good condition for a long time. So I'm going to iron those and then edge them, and then I can start some painting. So I have been painting for ages, it feels like. I have done these, which are my little "Oh How She Loves to Be Home" canvas, which has a little cottage on. Did a few of the little party geese. I don't know why I'm showing you all of them, they're all the same. A few of the little party geese. This is my winter goose, but I didn't do that today. And then we have a couple of the little, hold on, there we go, a little rain goose. And I'm just finishing off this one I designed, meant to be a version of a penguin book cover. But while I'm finishing off, I thought I would go through the books I read this week. So overall, I really enjoyed all three. I don't think they'll be for everyone. All of them leave quite a lot up to your own interpretation. I feel like not everything gets resolved, not everything gets like tied up in a bow. They all feel very like dreamlike. Things feel a little bit off and a bit unsettling and a little bit weird. And I personally really liked that. I really like that as the reader, you're not just handed everything on a plate, like you have to really think about what you're reading. And like I found myself analysing them after finishing them, which I don't always do, is not really a common thing for me to do after reading a book, but I just found myself wanting to like look up other people's reviews and see what they thought about it and like whether I agreed or disagreed, and I just find that quite fun. I think my favourite of the three was The Factory. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It was quite funny, it was quite depressing. And I kept thinking about it for multiple days after I finished it, like I'm still keep thinking about it now. It was definitely the hardest one to read because the way it's formatted, you don't really know who's talking or the timeline or like what am I trying to say? Who's saying what? But I think that's actually very effective because I kept relying on the job details to tell me which character I'm reading from, which I think is showing that their individual personalities have been lost to the factory. They've just become cogs in this machine. I think a lot of people out there will understand what it feels like to work like a 9 to 5 mundane job doing tasks that don't really mean anything, like putting stuff in a spreadsheet or like having meetings and you're like, what is the purpose of this meeting besides just being a meeting? Like things like that. And I just think one of the quotes that really stood out to me in that regard was from one of the characters who goes, I want to work and I'm lucky enough to be able to. Of course I'm grateful for that. How could I not be? Except, well, I don't want to work. I really don't. Life has nothing to do with work, and work has no real bearing on life. I used to think they were connected, but now I can just see that there's no way. And I just feel like there was a lot I could talk about for such a short book. Like it felt like there was a lot of small details. For example, the factory's like so big that it has its own animal species that live and die without ever leaving this like machine. Just like the workers, a lot of the workers live on site and they just spend all their time working. And then the timeline jumps around and you suddenly realise that 15 years have passed without you realising in the moment. It's sort of an offhand comment where I was like, wait, 15 years have passed? And I just feel like that's the similar feeling to when you get a job and you think, oh, I'll just do this for a little bit till I find something better. And then you blink and suddenly you've been there years. I just thought it was really fun. Really fun, kind of depressing, but just really makes you think about your own life and work. Then my second favourite was The Hole. I also did really enjoy this. It was a lot easier to read than The Factory. The prose was actually really like quite immersive and I like flew through it. I kind of wish there was more, but I felt that about all three. But I also like the fact that a lot was left up to your imagination. It had quite a lot of the same themes as The Factory, except we're looking at it from a different angle, so you're following someone who isn't working. So like, for example, it seems particularly aimed at women, so the main character loses her identity as an employee, as a friend, as like a daughter. She just is her husband's bride, like that's how the other characters refer to her. So then she falls into this hole, and this hole seems to perfectly fit her, like it was a trap made for her. A lot of the weird stuff starts happening and the weird characters start appearing after she's fell in the hole, so it's kind of like, is this reality or is this just like her experiencing this? And she also encounters a lot of other people who are seen as like unproductive members of society. So there's like an old man who just waters his garden all day, even if it's like pouring down with rain, he stands out there watering his garden. There's loads of children running around that don't really seem to belong to anyone and they just seem to aimlessly play all day. And then there's this strange man who she meets who lives in a shed at the back of her parents' or her husband's parents' house. And yeah, overall I kind of wish there was a bit more to it, but what we did get was really fun, a bit creepy and very thought-provoking as well. And then finally last night I finished Weasels in the Attic. Now I haven't actually said what this is about, I don't think. So this book is made up of 3 short stories. So the 3 short stories are all connected by the same set of characters, but at different times in their lives. So the first story is following 2 friends who have gone to meet another friend in the back of a fish shop to like catch up on the fact that one of them has got married and had a child. The second story is the same 2 friends again catching up because one of them has moved to a house in the mountains and has a weasel infestation and is sort of losing his mind a little bit. And then the last story, the 2 friends and their wives meet for a dinner party during a blizzard, and that is the one that gets really weird. Like that's where the weird unsettling feeling comes. I do think this was my least favourite of the 3. I still liked the themes and I liked the analysis I did afterwards. Like reading about it afterwards made me sort of re-look at it and think, actually, yeah, that's really interesting. Like it was still, I'm glad I read it, but of the 3, I feel like I got the least out of it. It just didn't have that dreamy weirdness and settlingness that I really liked in the other 2. So the themes in this one focus more on like maternity, motherhood, and there's a lot of comments on like fertility and having children, which was like I was quite excited about because it seems particularly relevant as me and my husband went through quite a lot of miscarriages last year. So I was like quite excited to see what she had to say about this. And the things she had to say were interesting, but I just didn't get enough out of it, I don't think. So yeah, I wanted a bit more, I think. So I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. But that is all 3. That is my little quick review. I literally have done nothing while I've been talking. But I'm going to finish this off, but I'll maybe see you again shortly. I am going to sign off from this vlog now. I am just needle pointing with my bestie, my foot warmer, a blanket, and the fire on. So just literally living my dream life right now. Nearly finished this little needlepoint goose. It's so cute. Did a collection of 3, so I think I'm going to stitch all 3. And then I'm not sure what to make with them yet, but we'll see. Yeah, it's been a good week. Well, has it? I've had a few ups and downs, but thank you for joining me. And yeah, I hope you had a good week, and I'll see you soon.